Welcome to this special Super Bowl edition of Bridgewater Now. I'm John Luck. Coming up over the next few minutes, we'll tell you some stories involving the game and potential ways that New England fans can benefit from either result, while taking a look back at maybe the biggest championship in the history of the New England Patriots and preview the big game as well. Not many cities can say they've played in 9 Super Bowls in the last 20 years. Actually, nobody can. However, the Patriots will play in Super Bowl number 9 under the Tom Brady-Bill Belichick regime on Sunday, and that's certainly leaving a sweet feeling. So sweet that the popular Brockton bakery Montilio's made a 1,200-pound cake to feed the fans that came out for the monster-sized send-off rally at Gillette earlier this week. The measurements are mind-boggling for this cake. We told you that it came in at 1,200 pounds, but it measures 16 feet by 12 feet, which is enough to feed over 5,000 people, and the cake is topped, of course, with the Vince Lombardi Trophy. At the bakery in Brockton, Montilio's has treats to get you in the mood for football, including a goat-shaped cake and other small treats. The owner, George Montilio, told the Brockton Enterprise that he's glad to be part of the festivities, and it's pretty cool, too. What better customers can there be than Boston sports teams and Boston sports fans? Of course, millions will be watching the big game, including in Boston and Los Angeles, for one city a championship and for the other a night to forget. Uber is going to try and help the losing city, as the ride-hailing app will give free rides for up to an hour after the final whistle. The offer is open to those that are subscribed to the Uber Rewards program. And for what it's worth, for the offer, a trip from Boston to Bridgewater takes a little less than an hour. While the losing city gets a free ride home, the winning city gets free beer. After their respective conference championship games, New England and LA fans had a video pop up on their social media feeds from Bud Light saying the winning city will get to celebrate with a free Bud Light. The details of the promotion are still getting worked out, but last year when the Patriots fell short in Super Bowl 52 to the Eagles, the city of Philadelphia got to celebrate the benefits by getting 38,000 free beers delivered to the victory parade. This Sunday, New England and LA will do battle in Super Bowl 53. This comes 17 years to the day when Adam Vinatieri split the uprights and one of the greatest dynasties in sports began. Younger viewers may not know this, but there once was a time when a rolling rally wasn't how Boston celebrated a championship. But with everyone packing Government Center to celebrate the Patriots' first Super Bowl victory, rolling rallies have become the way to celebrate all championships here in New England. BTV's Jeff Fowler was in the city in 2002 as New England celebrated its first championship since 1986.
Many sports critics and so-called experts around the country once said that it would be a cold day when the Patriots became champions of the National Football League. Although there was a chill in the air, it was no match against the warmth in the hearts of Patriots fans throughout. Those same experts said pigs would fly. Well, I didn't see any pigs flying, but I did witness a pig skin traveling 48 yards off of Adam Vinatieri's right foot and splitting the uprights, which resulted in a national celebration as the red, white, and blue were champions. There was a large contingency from right here in Bridgewater, and we at BTV caught up with the many in attendance. Our sports team, made up of myself, my father, and Ara Glennion, our videographer, set out early Tuesday morning to bring residents of Bridgewater a unique look behind the scenes of this Super Bowl gala, hoping to give you a better idea of what takes place when 1.25 million people take part in a World Championship celebration. And when we finally reached the city's federal district, we were welcomed by nearly 1 million of our closest friends. Of course, we all had to remember that this was a day of celebration, and despite the confining conditions, we were champions, and nothing was going to stop us hardy New Englanders from having a party that has been 42 years in the making. A little after 1 p.m., the champions arrived to a roaring crowd, which spent nearly 12 hours waiting for the Super Bowl champions.
Hey, only in a town like this could this many people come out here to celebrate our championship. You guys are the greatest fans in the world. We owe you supporting us all season. You were the only ones that thought we could win going into Sunday. A lot of thanks goes out to our coaching staff that worked their butts off all year to put us in a position to win. And all the credit goes to these guys right here. This group of guys right here stepped up, made plays all year long.
We got to Pittsburgh, and we were 9.5-point underdogs. They were already pinning the Super Bowl tickets, and what did we say? We go down to New Orleans, and ain't anybody give us a chance. Nobody. And what did we say to them?
Don't talk to me.
Hey, we're world champions. Don't talk to me.
As the festivities concluded and the crowd dispersed, there was a new feeling in Boston and the entire region. For the first time in 42 years, the Vince Lombardi Trophy was ours.
Well, hard to believe that was 17 years ago, so Jeff goes from hanging out with over 1 million people in Boston to telling us about the weather. And there will certainly be a lot of Super Bowl viewing parties happening on Sunday around Bridgewater, so will people be able to get around easier than the AFC Championship game?
Well, John, there shouldn't be any major issues this weekend. Whether you're watching the big game down in Atlanta or here in New England, Mother Nature should cooperate. In fact, temperatures will be moderating here in the Northeast. Sunday will be a transition day, bringing us out of the brutal cold and more to a spring-like pattern, which will be coming in early next week. As for Super Bowl Sunday itself here in Bridgewater, we are expecting sunny skies during the day. Now, some clouds will be arriving by nightfall. Highs will be generally in the 30s. If you're going to be at the game in Atlanta, we'll have cloudy skies down there. There could be a few showers, though most should hold off till Monday. Highs in Atlanta on Sunday will be near 60 degrees, with temperatures falling through the 50s during the game. Of course, it'll be nice and warm and dry inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Enjoy the game, everybody.
All right, thank you, Jeff, here with Brian Berard. And I told you that this Super Bowl is taking place 17 years to the day when Adam Vinatieri split the uprights and Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl. And, since then, we've had some great players grow up here. And let's talk about the age gap here, because 17 years is a long time. So you take a look right now at the LA Rams. C.J. Anderson was 10 years old when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl. Jared Goff was 7 years old, and oddly enough, at the Super Bowl media night, Jared Goff said he actually didn't even like football at the age of 7. Meanwhile, you look at the New England Patriots, rookie running back sensation Sony Michel was 6 years old when Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl, and other local athletes, Jason Tatum was 3 years old, Mookie Betts was 9 years old, and Andrew Benintendi was 7 years old. So it's been a long time. We were almost 12?
I think we were 11 going on 12 when they won their first Super Bowl.
So Tom Brady has a chance to get a 6th Super Bowl trophy. And to me, I think this is very surprising, because you go back a few weeks ago when you had the back-to-back losses, the Miracle in Miami, the Pittsburgh loss. A lot of people didn't think the Patriots would get to this point, and I was one of those people.
I was one of those people as well. I mean, earlier in the season, especially that game against Detroit, you never expected this team to make it to the Super Bowl. And even, as you said, John, the back-to-back losses, Miracle in Miami and then Pittsburgh, this team doesn't lose back-to-back games, especially in the month of December. That's when they start to come into their own. But then when that happened, I said, all right, you know what? The dynasty's coming to an end. I was one of the people that said, it was a good run, 5 titles in 18 years. When are you ever going to see this again? And then all of a sudden, they came back at home. They beat the Jets. They beat Buffalo. They absolutely manhandled the Chargers. And, you may call it lucky, but they, obviously beat the Chiefs. And they started coming into their own, especially the offense and that defense. But I have to say, that offensive line has really stepped up over the past few weeks for this Patriots team.
And ball management, clock control has been a big key for the Patriots in the first quarter against the Chargers, against the Chiefs. They held onto the ball in the first drives. 7.5, 8 minutes, something like that. So that's going to be something interesting to see how they handle the ball in the first quarter. With Tom Brady on the field, of course, a lot of people think that he's the greatest passer of all time. He's going to keep racking up these numbers, 500 yards passing against the Eagles in Super Bowl 52. But now we're starting to see more of a running game with the New England Patriots, and I think this is something that the Patriots have to see if you're going to keep Tom Brady around until 45.
Yeah, that passing game is going to definitely go off of that running game. You have to be able to set up a play-action pass, which opens up, of course, the passing game for the Patriots. But you want to keep Tom Brady a little bit healthier. Yeah, you have to rely on the running game a lot more to get you yards, and that really hasn't been part of this New England Patriots offense, John. I mean, very rarely do they take a running back in the first round. What was the last one they did? Lawrence Maroney, maybe, out of Minnesota.
I have his jersey, oddly enough.
Well, there you go. And it's one of those positions that we've seen with the Patriots. They have proven that the running back position, you can literally stick anyone in there. They had Cordero Patterson in there. They've handed it off to James Devlin several times. I mean, they really didn't need to have a running back because you always had Tom Brady, and you could always just plug in anyone that you wanted to, put in there. And now I think they start to realize that you need to protect Tom Brady with the running game. That's why they went out and got a Sony Michel, who, as he started off this year, wasn't the greatest start for Sony Michel this season for the Patriots. But as the offensive line has done a better job, so has Sony Michel, as has James White, Rex Burkhead, James Devlin. The list goes on and on. But you're right, John. That running game is definitely going to have to go on longer and longer, be better and better if you want to see Tom Brady play to 45 like he keeps saying he will.
The Patriots and the Rams had 2 weeks off in between their respective championship games and the Super Bowl. A lot of storylines brought up, a lot of stuff on the field, off the field. Some people thought they were going to replay the NFC Championship game because of the blown call.
That's right.
But still, a lot of storylines here coming into the Super Bowl. What's a couple things you're looking forward to?
Well, I think it's obviously Tom Brady can, at 42, 1, 3, whatever, however old he is, to win the Super Bowl. He can win his 6th Super Bowl, which would tie him for the most in NFL history with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's obviously an amazing thing, but 3 years in a row, the New England Patriots have made it to the Super Bowl. And I think the big thing, compared to last year's Super Bowl, I think the Patriots went into that game. They said we're playing the Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Foles were playing a backup quarterback. I think the Patriots expected they could just waltz in to Minnesota last year, claim the back-to-back Super Bowl championships, and be on their way. But the Patriots have another opportunity to win 2 out of 3, and I think that's the biggest thing here for the Patriots, going back to the 3rd Super Bowl. And I think last year humbled them. I think Kyle Van Noy said it best. He said, the win over the Chiefs was humbling for them. When he said that you go on the road, play a tough team like the Kansas City Chiefs, it kind of humbled them. And you don't really see a lot of Patriots players say that. I know, years and years ago there was the big humble pie thing for the New England Patriots, but I think, last year losing the Super Bowl, coming into this year, I think a lot of times they thought we can just waltz in and win these games, and I think they're not taking this game for granted like they did last year.
Now, with the Super Bowl, we talk a lot about the commercials, about the food, and of course about maybe making some side money, maybe some squares, some wagers and all that. One popular thing is a prop bet. So you can bet on anything in the Super Bowl, who wins a coin toss, Gatorade color, jersey color, and all that stuff. So we have a few options, or a few prop bets here. See where we come out here. First of all, how long will it take Gladys Knight to sing the national anthem? Right now, the over-under is at 147. Now, she did sing the anthem back in the early 90s, I believe, and that came out to 1:40. So over-under 147.
I'm going to pound the over on this. She's from Atlanta. You got to drown it. You got to draw it out a little bit. And it's the Super Bowl. It's an international event. That's your moment to shine. You got to pound the over on that.
I'm going to take the over as well. I mean, the Super Bowl, you have basically a 12-hour pregame show. You have to make that last at least another half hour just to get the teams on the field, the coin toss, God Bless America, I think is what they sing before the anthem. So, you have to really get that out there. Gatorade color, of course, after the game, the coach usually gets a Gatorade bath. So, out of all the colors in the Gatorade brand, what color do you think they're going to be wearing?
How do you even predict this one?
There's colors, Brian. Do you not know the color blue, red, green?
I mean, blue, I guess? I don't know. How do you even guess that one? Don't they give you odds on the colors?
Yeah, but that was like 30 colors. I'm not going to waste ink and paper.
That happens. They're going to waste Gatorade.
Okay, so you can bet on weird stuff like that, or you can bet on actual football game stuff. Tom Brady passing yards, the over-under right now at 291.5.
Pound to the over, way over. Last year's Super Bowl, he had over 500.
I'm going to go under just because there's been a lot of short passes to James White, Julian Edelman. So
yeah, they did that last year too.
To get to 291, that's going to be a lot of passes. And I think with this defensive line of the Rams, Tom Brady's going to have to probably play out of the shotgun a lot and probably find James White or Edelman on the sideline. Sony Michel rushing yards, the over-under at 77.5 yards.
The interesting thing is that the Chargers' run defense was worse than the Chiefs, but this postseason they've held Ezekiel Elliott and Alvin Kamara both under 100 yards. So, I mean, you want to say the under, but the way that the Patriot offensive line has been working, I think they're going to do a great job of really neutralizing Aaron Donald. I'm going to have to go with the over on this.
I like the over there too. And finally, my own low prop bet here. This game taking place in Atlanta. The Patriots, of course, with the biggest Super Bowl comeback against the Atlanta Falcons. So CBS liked their storylines. How many references will we hear about in reference to the Patriots comeback against the Falcons? I have 3.5.
Under, way under. I don't think this is really going to be a huge storyline in this game.
I take the over, but we'll find out on Super Bowl Sunday. Brian, thanks for stopping by. We'll be on the Out of Bounds Super Bowl special coming up later on this week on btvaccess.com and on Channel 98 and Channel 9 as well.